gentlemen, the Starship Atlantic is now boarding. After checking in, please proceed to the gangway.
When can we see the ship?
In a few minutes.
How many people are there on the ship?
Just a minute, sweetheart.
I think you better wait until they finish up with that stuff.
Look at this place.
Goofy?
That's me. How about a hug?
Is it really you?
Oh, well, I think so. I was hoping to see that big ship. I want to learn all about ships.
I know, so do we. We've never even seen a ship before.
Gee whiz. Whoa!
Hi, Goofy. Hi, Hillary and Matthew. I'm Kate, the cruise director. Well, you're not going to learn much about ships just standing there. Come aboard.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. We'll all be. It's even bigger than I thought.
May I have your attention, please? Route 28, please call 44.
Gosh, a floating hotel.
That's exactly what it is, Goofy. And the guests are the passengers.
Is there a restaurant?
More than one. There's even gift shops, a barber shop, and a theater.
Are you in charge of the whole thing?
No, Matthew. A cruise director's in charge of the activities for the passengers, but there are about 500 of us on the crew, and we all work together to keep the ship running smoothly.
500?
That is a lot of people. Let's see here.
This is a cabin. See, it's just like a hotel room.
Neat! Hey, that window's called a porthole.
You're right. This is the starboard side of the ship.
Gosh, Kate, what do you mean? I don't see any stars on board.
No, Goofy. You see, ships have their own names for front, back, left, and right. Instead of the front, we call it the bow. The back is called the stern. And instead of left, we call it port. And that leaves the right side, or
Starboard!
Hey, that's right.
So that must be the port side over there.
Hey, you catch on fast.
Ooh, let's see. Left and right. Whoop. Hey, what you looking at?
What are those guys doing down there?
Oh, they're loading the ship with food and supplies for the trip.
Food. Sailing makes me hungry.
Would you like to see where they cook food on a ship?
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Rudy.
Welcome to the galley.
Well, it looks like a kitchen to me.
It is a kitchen, but on a ship it's called the galley.
Oh.
That's where we cook our meals and bake the delicious cakes and pastries.
Look how big it is.
My helpers and I have to cook for more than 2,000 people.
2,000?
That's right. This ship carries about 1,500 passengers.
Plus 500 crew members.
Oh, I was just, sorry.
Wow.
Gosh.
You can see everything from up here.
Yes, we can.
This is the captain.
Hi, kids. Hi, Goofy. Welcome to the bridge.
Wow, look, a video game.
No, this is not a video game, Goofy. This is radar. It helps us to find other ships and land, even when we can't see it.
Hey, don't planes use these too?
They sure do.
Look at all the buttons and stuff.
Yeah, this is the bridge control board.
Is that where you steer the ship?
Yes, you're right. This is where we steer the ship. Normally, if we don't have a man here, we have a computer to help us steer the ship. I also work very closely with the engineers.
But where are they?
They're down in the engine control room.
How do you work so closely? Because they're down there.
Well, you see this lever over here? They have one exactly like this in the engine control room. When I move the lever, the engineers know whether to slow down or speed up the ship. I also have a telephone here, so as I can talk to the engineers down in the engine room.
Do you think we could go down and see the engineer's control room?
What do you think, Captain?
Ooh.
This is Paul, the first engineer. Hello.
Boy.
Hi. Those are the biggest engines I've ever seen.
Me too.
Well, on a car, the engine is small enough to go right under the hood. On a ship, the engines are so big, they have to have a whole room to themselves.
How fast do ships go?
Yeah. How fast do ships go?
This ship will go about 20 knots.
Knots?
That's a word we use on ships instead of miles per hour. 20 knots is about 23 miles an hour, or as fast as you could go on your bicycle if you were pedaling really hard.
Neat.
Hey, there's the lever.
Look.
We know about that lever. That's how you communicate with the captain.
Look at those ropes.
Those are lines that are keeping us tied to the pier. And when we're ready to pull out, the line handlers will remove the lines and they'll be pulled back into the ship till we need them again.
Amazing.
At that point, the ship is free to float away from the pier. Sometimes we get a little help from tugboats, which push and pull the ship out of the harbor and into the open water.
What about the anchor? Won't we have to lift it up?
With these lines, we don't even have to drop the anchor. In fact, we'll only use the anchor when we're offshore or in a smaller port, because then we wouldn't have a pier to tie the ship to, so the anchor would keep the ship from drifting until we're ready to set sail.
Gee, that looks like my fishing boat.
Those are lifeboats, Goofy, in case we have an emergency at sea and everyone has to get off the ship.
Ooh, wow.
How would anybody know what to do?
We have safety drills on board, just like you have fire drills at school.
When we're at sea, does anybody on land know where we are?
The Coast Guard does, who are kind of like the police of the ocean. Well, they keep track of every boat and every ship, and we talk to them by radio.
By radio?
Hey, come on, I'll show you.
Hey, great.
Thank you, Orlando. Over and out. Hello.
Ooh.
What's all this stuff for?
Well, this is a special radio. We use it to communicate with the shore, and passengers can also phone their friends from here.
Gosh, that's neat. My radio can't do all that.
Not all radios can, Goofy. This is a special sort of a radio. It's called a ship-to-shore radio. I also use it to contact the weather service, and then I can warn the captain if there are storms coming.
Hey, what's that thing?
That's a teletype, Goofy. That's another form of communication. There's a message coming through now. It's for you.
Dear Goofy, Matthew, and Hillary, don't forget to see the rest of the harbor. Mickey.
What's the harbor?
Well, harbor is where all the ships go when they're not at sea. We're in a harbor now.
Can we go see it? Will we see it when we come aboard for the trip?
I'll be looking for you.
Gosh, thanks for the tour, Kate.
My pleasure, Goofy. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi. I thought you'd never get here.
Ooh, look.
Who are you?
I'm Chuck the Harbor Master. How are you?
Fine.
Hello, Goofy.
Boy.
Harbor Master.
Yes, ma'am. I take care of all the ships while they're in port. Come on, let me show you around.
Swell. Do, 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 do.
This is where we unload freight ships and cargo.
Freight ship?
Cargo?
Yes, cargo is everything from food to cars. See that lumber? Just came in by ship. That ship came all the way from Japan.
Japan?
It's being loaded with steel to be recycled into new products.
Wow. How long long will it take for it to get back to Japan?
3 to 4 weeks. And over there are tugboats, just like this one. We use them to put ships in their proper berth and also to take them back out to sea whenever bad wind conditions don't permit them to do it by themselves. And over here is Coast Guard Station.
We know about that.
Yeah, they're like police of the ocean.
Yes, and they're also here to give emergency assistance where necessary.
Look, there's another ship. Gosh, that's neat the way everybody works together.
Yes, everybody has a task assigned and they do it very efficiently so that they get the job done in the fastest possible time.
How do ships know where to dock?
Well, that's the job of the berthing officer. Come on, let's go meet her.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
this is Wendy, the berthing officer.
Hi.
Hi.
Her job is to position each one of the ships as it comes into port in its proper berth. Based on a radio call that we receive from them, we know whether it's cargo or whether it's people.
Ooh.
She then assigns us a berth.
Is our ship on your chart?
Sure. Right here.
And I see by the departure time, we've got to get you back to the ship.
Well, thanks for showing us the harbor and stuff.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome to come back anytime.
Bye.
What are you looking for?
Nothing, Mom.
You ready to go aboard?
I guess so.
Well, this is going to be so exciting. Wait till you see this ship, kids.
What's holding you two up? I thought you couldn't wait to see the ship.